A lot to get to on weather for Weather Geeks on this Monday evening. Hope you and yours had a good weekend, everyone. The weather went downhill, certainly, by Sunday, and today was just kind of a classic Monday. There's a reason why Garfield hated Mondays so much. I grew up, reading Garfield, and he hated Mondays, that's for sure. And it's days like today, a reminder why we may not love Mondays, especially at this time of the year, when the sun doesn't rise until 7:51. And it's raining in the morning, and it's still like pitch black outside at 7:30 with the rain. Even a morning person just wants to hit the snooze alarm, right, on a morning like this. It was a clammy day today. It was, we're getting into the time of the year that we can have these kind of backwards days more and more often. Our high today occurred at 2:12 a.m., 50 degrees. Our afternoon featured temperatures in the lower 40s. All of this, of course, well below the average. For this time of the year, our rain gauge network across the area today, generally a half an inch, pretty common in areas south of 224 down into Columbiana County, down in towards Beaver County, PA as well. Generally a third of an inch, pretty good average. Boardman to Youngstown over towards Newcastle. A little bit less as you got off towards the I-80 corridor in parts of Trumbull and Mercer counties. All right, as of 7:04 this evening, our most consistent rain shower activity getting set to depart. Could there be a spritz or a sprinkle or a quick bit of drizzle or a shower for the rest of this evening? Yes, but it won't be as consistently wet as it has been for much of the daylight hours. Doozy of a cold front continues to roll off to the south and east. This is the front that rolled through our area over the weekend. And check out the temperature difference between, say, Charlotte and Knoxville. And it's interesting, in a lot of these areas that were in the 80s this afternoon, they're under frost advisories for tonight. That's how steep of a temperature decline there will be down in parts of the south and the mid-Atlantic states tonight. Locally, we have a freeze warning out. I'm sure this will be the last freeze warning issued by the National Weather Service for the season. Technically, our growing season ended when we had that freeze last week. But they went ahead and issued one more freeze warning for most of eastern Ohio, western PA, and, I'm not going to count the states, but it's probably, a dozen states or so have freeze warnings and frost advisories and freeze watches out for tonight into tomorrow morning. Back here at home, Halloween will be a chilly one. It'll be not quite as wet as recent Halloweens. We've had measurable precipitation for the last 5 Halloweens. The dry one was the chilly one back in 2020 when the high was 48. Actually, just before this recap of the last 5 years, back in 2017, we had a very chilly Halloween, and I think this year will kind of be in a similar neighborhood temperature-wise, lower middle 40s. This is, as I've mentioned a few times, the 30-year anniversary of the coldest and snowiest Halloween on record for our area, with 5.1 inches worth of snow. We had measurable snow on the 30th that year as well, but on Halloween itself, 5.1 inches and a high of just 35. So at least it won't be anything like that. But if your community has trick or treat tomorrow evening, it's between, say, 5 and 7, something in that neighborhood in most places. The kids will need to bundle up, that's for sure. Upper 30s, lower 40s, but most importantly, not that windy, and it will be dry. After trick or treat, though, is when things go downhill a little bit. This is a pretty potent area of low pressure scooting through the lower Great Lakes during the second half of the day tomorrow. And as early as late evening, there could be a rain or a snow shower, but it's in the overnight, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, Wednesday morning, that there'll probably be a pretty significant, pretty potent band of snow showers coming in off of Lake Erie. Lots of instability. There might be some lightning and thunder with this. There might be some thunder snow up in the snow belt, especially in the wee hours of Wednesday morning. And this will be enough to certainly coat the ground in a lot of places in the primary snow belt, and even in our TV viewing area, even though our viewing area really is more in the secondary snow belt, especially our Trumbull and Mercer areas. Some light accumulations will be a possibility. I'll show you a map in just a second. Might be a leftover sprinkle or rain shower Wednesday afternoon, and then quiet weather for the tail end of the week as high pressure builds in. I had to make our first snow map of the season. Here's kind of the region-wide view. In most of our TV market, maybe some dustings, some coatings here and there, especially non-paved surfaces. But as you get off to the north, certainly there could be a couple or a few inches even up into parts of Geauga, Ashtabula County, Crawford County, PA. In northern Trumbull, once you're up towards the Route 87 corridor, could someone get an inch or two up there? Mesopotamia, Bristol, heading over towards Kinsman, over towards the Greenville area in Mercer County. That's going to be a possibility. And if your travels do happen to take you a little bit farther to the north, out of our viewing area and up closer to I-90 Wednesday morning, you might encounter even some slippery travel up in that vicinity with maybe a handful of inches. All right, our pattern is amplified for now, but as we go into the longer range, we're going to get into kind of a more zonal flow, looks like, by the end of the week, the weekend, and into next week. We've been kind of in a pattern over the last several weeks where we have an active week across the lower 48 and then a quiet week. And I think next week will be primarily our quiet week. And that quieter pattern will actually start to take hold late this week and into the weekend. So what we mean by zonal flow is that at the jet stream level, it's going like this instead of wavy like this. So this will allow temperatures to moderate. Now, it's not going to be a warm pattern, but it won't be as chilly, as abnormally chilly as the near term. So no surprise with today's 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. The west will certainly be warmer than the average. Our region, not a strong signal for warmth, but certainly less cold than the next few days as we go into that second week of November. All right, so just a reminder, it's 10 days away. Our annual winter forecast on 21 News at 5, 6, and 11, and right here online as well. Online will be the long, geeky version. We'll tell you about snow trends, overall precipitation trends, and, of course, temperature trends for meteorological winter. Now, the snow forecast is first flake to last flake. The temperature forecast is always meteorological winter, December, January, and February. So we look forward to talking all about the winter coming up in 10 days. I continue to kind of make tweaks to the forecast. It's not finalized yet. In fact, I'm going to wait until probably the tail end of this week. We'll get some new data in at the beginning of the month, model data and actual readings from what the oceans are doing, the latest on El Nino and other temperatures across the Pacific and Indian Oceans and the Atlantic Ocean. We'll get that data, that data during the first few days of November. So that'll be valuable data as we fine-tune and make last-minute tweaks to that annual winter forecast coming up in 10 days. In the meantime, thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks tonight. I'll see you right back here on Tuesday.